Well guys, we're back at my brother's shop. It is the next day. We got some good information in between hours. My brother talked to the customer and called me and said that this Mustang was originally a no start. It was brought into the garage as a no start, and I think the customer drove it for a little bit before it died on him. Did not have this problem. The problem we have right now was built into it. I'm like third-hand information, so I might be missing some stuff. But the fact is, this, whether it ran good before it became a no start, that part I'm not sure of, but I do know it was a no start, and I do know that when this was put in, this problem is there. So this was built in. That makes me feel a lot better about what we're doing, which is calling a brand new part bad. Might even be two different brand new parts that were bad, which is the ignition module. I am leaning toward the ignition module. After reviewing the footage in my mind of those clips in the waveforms that I talked about, which is an indication of the pickup going bad, I remember the case studies I've had in the past, and they were not like this one. It was very clear. We can pull in some images. I'll pull some of these images up from other case studies I did in the edits, where you can see clear differences in these clippings of the pip signal, and that's just not what we had. And I think I was really reaching for that because I was trying to prove that the pickup was bad, because I didn't believe the ignition module could be bad, because my brother just put one in too and it didn't fix it. And so I believe that's where we are, but the nice thing is my brother is talking to the other garage and there's good communication there, and we're able to warranty the entire distributor for this guy. So that's what we have, is a whole other distributor with a module. We're going to try to piece it in though, just to prove where the fault was, and I want to put a module in first and see where that takes us. Now there's one other question that I'm thinking of that I know I didn't answer for you guys, and I don't know that I can or ever will, because I don't know the internal design of the pickup. But I think it's very strange that I had to run a jumper to the housing of the module to the housing of the distributor for that thing to run. Okay, let's not go to ground then. Let's go to this. Guess that was it. When I grounded the distributor directly to the battery, that didn't work. When I grounded the module directly to the battery, that didn't work. But when I grounded the module to the distributor housing, it did. And that tells me something with that pickup needs to have that module ground. Remember, the module has an external ground. So something with that pickup needs to have that. I'm not really sure the circuit design on that, and I'm not willing to investigate further to prove that, unless I have to when we change these parts and we still have a problem. We'll revisit that. But just to answer that question, I don't know, and I don't care enough, to be honest with you, on this older system. Why the older Ford truck we did recently that had Bronco fenders, the Bronco 150, that one had a remote mounted ignition module, and that module didn't need to have a ground for the truck to run. It was just sitting there. And that module also didn't need to have a jumper wire connected between the housing of the module and the base of the distributor. But I don't remember if there were 4 wires coming off of that distributor. Anyway, I'm hoping we don't have to revisit that part. You guys watched me struggle in identifying where the problem was, and it was in large part because I believed that we had a good ignition module for most of the day yesterday, and I just don't anymore. I think the module's bad from what I'm seeing. We have everything we need for this thing to work. It is unusual to have 2 different modules doing the same thing, and maybe I'm wrong, and it is the pickup in the distributor, in which case I did my best yesterday in trying to identify what I could possibly see wrong in the pickup, and I really couldn't see anything. I saw some stuff, and I was reaching for it, and maybe we go back to that as far as the explanation. I don't know. I'm not, honestly, I'm not happy about being here today to work on this Mustang. So let's go see if we can fix it.
What's up?
So customer said he drove it for a while before it died, then had it towed to the garage, or no? He bought it as a no start.
Yes. No, he drove it for a couple hundred miles.
Okay, so it rode fine, didn't have this problem.
Nothing.
It became a no start. Parts were replaced, and here's where we are.
Yes.
This verifies to us bad parts. Which one is it?
Yeah, but unfortunately, I had to get the same one under warranty.
I know.
I don't know.
If we have the same problem, we're going to be getting...
Searching somewhere else.
Searching somewhere else.
That's fine.
Yep. So that confirms...
Yeah, because it ran great.
Well, that confirms to me what I just said, because I was unsure of that part, which is we definitely have bad parts here. The car ran great, and then died. It was a no start. They replaced components, and now we have this problem. Just getting set up here real quick. Amp clamp on the coil is what I really want to focus on more than anything. Distributor. CarQuest. It's the only one that's available. Danner!
What?
You had a question about the gear on this. Did you answer that question?
I don't have an answer for that.
Where did you see that? No, there's
it was actually, I didn't see
something
it on
about
Mitchell at all.
about the gear being different, and it would destroy the camshaft if we use the wrong gear.
it said metal gear. That's what it said on Advance's site. And then when I looked up an MSD, it gave you a separate gear if you needed to switch it.
Yeah. Oh, Caleb, our battery's dead on the Verus. Way to go, son. Good job. Docking your pay. That's a comeback. That's in our work, and I don't even have the charger.
I have.
You left it at the house. That's definitely docking pay. If you were a technician, that's a comeback, and that's like a diagnostic charge. You're freaking working for free. So my suspicions are that it's a module issue, and so I'm going to take the module out first. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Ah, it should not have been that tight. I thought for a second there we weren't gonna be able to prove it to you guys. Throwing the whole distributor in. I couldn't get him loose. I was just looking inside to see how many wires, and you know, if this piece needed to be bolted down, some kind of shield maybe. I only see 3 wires, so I don't know. I'm nervous, man. I just proving this fault is turning out to be like next to impossible. On having that heat sink there. We can't run this long like this. I guess it's a moment of truth. I wish I felt more confident. It's so hard to call bad new parts. You're always like, what did I miss? That's kind of how I feel right now. It's like, what did I miss? And again, this is just about proving it to you guys. I think in the field, the way that you would attack this is the test that I did initially. Amp clamp on the coil so we could clearly see coil firings were being dropped out, and this not being a problem before and was after distributor installation, knowing we're on the primary side of the circuit where it's dropping out. You're done, just put another distributor in it. I mean, that's the extent of this in the field, and here with us in this video, and I'm just trying to prove it, that's all. And I'm having a real difficult time doing that. Check my jumper. Yeah, that definitely. When I take that on and off, you can hear the fuel pump turning on and off. What that indicates There's no question that that needs to be there. Just don't know I'm making good contact. But what that indicates is we're triggering a pip signal when I'm taking that on and off. That sounds better than it has. Bad module. I'm not putting this whole distributor in. That makes our job a lot better. This is alternator unplugged. That looks great. Listen how it's running. I don't want to run this long like this. Let it idle down for a second. Let's pause that. I'm shutting this off. That is being run long enough with that not having a heat sink. Let's zoom out on this picture. You guys didn't see it because we forgot to sync. I'm docking Caleb's pay again. Come over here where you can show the screen for a minute. And here's the capture. Notice there's no drops in that whole signal. And now, Caleb, we can show everyone. We can show everyone what we do. Record. There, sync that. This looks good. No drops. You heard it too, the way it was running. Faulty ICM. Two. So this one came out of the original distributor, this distributor that's in here. This one was bad. This is the one that my brother changed. So that one's bad. And that one's bad. Same condition. Stupid stuff here, man. Okay, I gotta put this back together. There's something else that I can mention, maybe. I don't know if you guys will see it, depends where it occurs in the edits. But I was surprised to see the same clipping of the pip signal when I measured it directly, the crank signal or pickup directly. When I measured it here, I was seeing it there too, and I didn't expect to see that. Just internal circuit design. And again, old school, I don't care. What I do care about is showing you guys how to properly troubleshoot the system. And the information that I've provided is really, really valuable, especially with the clipping of those pip signals when you see them being uneven. And again, throwing that image up here on what they look like when you have a faulty pip. And what happens when they act that way is when you unplug the spout, the misfire goes away, and we weren't seeing that. And I was trying to connect the dots and maybe trying to justify with the spout unplugged why we still had a misfire when we had a clear signal is, I don't know, I was trying over and over in my mind yesterday to justify that, and I wasn't really able to. And I just didn't believe that it was possible to have two faulty modules doing the exact same thing. Urgh. Frustrating. Unfreaking believable, man. I am a happy camper, but at the same time, I'm not. So this is like a message now to the parts suppliers for us. Who pays for this? Who pays for the time the technician has involved? Now again, granted, it might have happened differently. Had you known the full history of the car up front, knowing it ran fine, died, no spark, you change a part, and all of a sudden you have a new problem, you just change the part again. So maybe not a lot of time involved, but for us, there was. We had to prove it. Or maybe it's even a part that you can't get, and it took you weeks to get the original one, and now you have to make sure, for the customer's sake, that truly it is a bad new part. Who pays for that time? Honestly, it should be the parts suppliers. They do warranty claims. I know people that have used them. I never have, but yeah, man, frustrating. This is our job sometimes. Danner!
What?
Module fixed it.
Just the module?
Yep, I'm not changing the whole distributor.
You just switched the module.
That is all I did.
So that second one I bought's junk too then?
Yep.
Wow.
Talk about a difficult call to make.
I would not have put money on that.
I mean, I thought about it last night when I left, and I
Well,
talked.
yeah, you're not dropping your signal.
The pip signal was fine.
Yeah.
And I was reaching, you know, the clippings that I told you about is legit.
Yeah.
And I just was like, the ones I've seen, it's so evident when it happens. And all of those, when you unplug the spout to take out the computer's advance, it fixes it.
Yeah.
And it's always been a pickup issue.
And that would be the pickup?
The pickup. When you see that, the weird clippings, they're uneven, and you'll get weird triggerings of the coil.
But disconnecting the computer from it fixes it, but that's still a pickup issue?
Yes. Yes. And I don't know why exactly, but I've seen it enough times. Yeah, those two are junk.
Yeah, I guess so. You know what? They're both the same model, the same type.
But so is this one.
So this is the exact same
that's
module.
Bob's. Yep.
Well, they're all from Advance, they're CarQuest.
Right.
So this
So
is
that's
junk.
who's building them.
Well, those two were built on a Friday. Or that one was built on Friday at 4 o'clock. That was built on Monday at 8 o'clock after a weekend of boozing. And then this one was built like on a Tuesday or Wednesday.
After all I had.
Wow, dude.
It's freaking stupid, man. It's so hard to call bad new parts. And this is like a repeating thing more than I've ever seen in my life, Danner. And I know you can attest to that. Before I forget, for you guys that are wondering, my brother has marked the distributor. And so I just keep realigning. If you look at the red,
We'll set the timing when you're going, that's fine.
Okay. I don't know if you can see that. The red line down there on the distributor and on the base. So all I'm doing right now is lining that up where it was when it came in. Okay? And my brother's gonna set.
We'll set the timing later, yeah.
My man. He's gonna set the timing later. Okay. Now we'll be able to look at this longer on the scope, and we'll be able to see it because Caleb has, because I have a desktop recording going now. It's all your fault, Caleb. What? My misfire's back. My misfire's back.
I can't think about that just yet.
It's back. I didn't want to see that. I don't understand. I need to. I'm missing something. Let me try grounding this distributor housing. I don't see this making a difference, but something's changed. I mean, it could just be that that's all that module gave us before it started taking a crap again. I didn't want to run it too long with it remotely mounted because we weren't dissipating the heat. And that was the first time that I ran that without a misfire. Bolted it back up, the misfire's back. Look at the gaps in this waveform. It's almost funny now. So why is my jumper wire making this not misfire? There's one. I saw one. Let's go 1 second screen and we'll peak detect that. No, too much noise there, but that's enough for we'll be able to see the dropout without having to zoom in and out. That looks pretty good. I did see one drop a minute ago. There's another one right there. Now let's take the jumper wire away. I mean, I checked the pin contact on the module. I know some of you are thinking that. Maybe pin contact. Right now my jumper wire is not a factor. I have it disconnected. It's only connected to a piece of plastic on this end. Dude, it's the plug. I checked the plug. Hold on. Well, just watch my hand on this plug and we'll watch the waveform. I'm not gonna move it much. As soon as I touched that a minute ago, try to keep my hand out of the way. Can you see the wires? We need to get a light in there. It's the connector, Caleb. I've been throwing the parts people under the bus this whole time. Man, talk about a roller coaster and like I feel incompetent right now. I feel incompetent. I checked the connector. I wiggled it yesterday. All right, back on this pip wire. Let me make sure it's that one. That's the spout. This would be the feed. That's the crank circuit. That one's power feed. This is coil control. This one's the ground. Back to the top wire, pip wire. There. Now, is it possible that it's the inside plug so the 3 pins on the inside, I think it's just this plug. Yep, kind of every time I'm messing with that pip wire. I think it might be corroded. Sorry, CarQuest. Wasn't your fault. It was incompetent technician being me. Maybe I had too much to drink. What do you guys think? What do you think? Nice, a tire plug. I mean, like, it's definitely hard to justify that. It's the connector.
Like the main connector?
Yes, the pip wire. Like when I wiggle on the pip wire right on the module, I can make it do it.
So none of this bad.
None, yeah, so all of that. We're the drunk ass.
So it is Friday. Hey, it's Friday, man. For me, I'm thinking a 4-day Christmas weekend.
Oh, sweet.
So
it is Friday, so
Friday.
It's our fault.
It was a Friday
We're
job.
anticipating beer time.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I feel stupid. So a poor pip wire signal. I'm trying to think about that. That's an output to the ECM. See, that shouldn't shut down coil control. Man, I'm wondering if I would have monitored the spout, if I would have seen it. I'm still questioning if it's that wire, but I'm gonna try to tighten it up, clean it up, we'll see what happens. This is definitely a connector issue though, and which one it is debatable. I'm pretty sure it's this top wire. And I don't know if it's like maybe pitted. Like, that's not a gap that's spread apart. And the only way I would know that that has like some pitting to it would be to open it up. I mean, that's definitely still a tight fit. I wonder if I could got something to clean that, like a torch tip cleaner maybe, because I think it might be scored on the inside.
So how'd you find out? Just wiggling it?
Yeah, I mean, yes. Yeah.
Just a little bit?
And it was the top wire. I can make it do it like every time I'd flex that top wire, which is the pip wire. But the weird part of that is like, that's an input to the computer, right? That's not a direct control of the coil. So if I'm wiggling the top pip wire, that means the computer's losing its RPM signal, and it'd be cutting injection pulse, and then we probably would have seen that on the spout signal, the return signal back. And that might be why it's shutting down, because the computer does control the spark when it's running using the spout, but it clips the pip, and it's such a stupid system. I'm so glad there was no pip and spout anymore.
Fun.
But yeah, we threw the parts people under the bus, and we shouldn't have.
Yeah, whatever.
Is really the moral of the story right now. Sweet. All right, let's see if that was the one. Battery's dead. We'll have to plug that alternator back in while we're running this. See if we see that noise that we were seeing. Yeah, the little oscillations in the coil ramps. I'm not as concerned about that right now. I've seen no dropouts at the moment. There was one as soon as I touched the connector, it did it again. So I don't think it's the pip wire any longer. I'm gonna have to do this to the rest of them. Let's see if I can individually touch these, figure out which one it is. Pip wire, spout wire, it might be the coil control wire. Yeah. Yep. And that makes the most sense. Look at that.
It does.
It's the coil control wire, and that's the one that would carry all the current flow, and that would be the one, if it's arcing, because it would arc in there, you're gonna have pit marks on the connector itself.
Okay.
Even though it's tight,
Yeah.
that's the one that carries the current. I can't believe I just got my ass kicked by a connector. Like, ass kicked by a connector.
If we would have back probed the connector instead of the coil, you probably would have tightened it up and it would have went away.
I think I mentioned that. I think I mentioned yesterday at some point, I'm like, that's not misfiring as bad since I back probed that. And then I checked the connector and then I was like, nah, they're all good. At some point, that conversation did happen.
Oh, did it?
Yes. Somewhere amongst the 2 hours we got in this thing. I saw a T-pin here. Where did it go? I definitely saw one.
Standards automatic.
I literally was just looking at one. Just looking at one. Release, damn it. There we go. Yeah, I mean, like, looking at that, there's no way that you would say that you have a problem. The wire's not broken in the insulation.
Wasted on you. Wasted on you.
All right, fire in the hole with the dead battery again. Should have left that charger on it while we were doing that. Let's commence wiggling. Nope. Damn it.
So I need to find a harness. What are you gonna do, man?
I don't know. I mean, I wanted to prove which terminal it was. I don't. Make sure I'm not missing something in the harness. Which wire is it? Maybe it's the ground. It's like none of them, but then it's all of them.
Could it be the pins inside the module? It's like a different.
Huh?
It's like a different problem now. That it's not as bad.
It's not as bad, but now I'm wondering, like, maybe it's the connector, like, up inside.
Maybe.
Like the 3 pins coming out.
I have a distributor for that. You got it?
But if it was the signal coming inside, I'd be losing that pip, and I'm not losing the pip signal, if you remember. Let me get my leads back on that. Okay, channel 2. Battery ground. Pip wire first. Never losing that pip wire signal. You see it right there. Let's go to a, move this amperage pattern down here. Yeah, you see, we're never losing that pip signal. We already established that yesterday. I don't know why I was focused on the pip wire. If we were losing that, like from a connection up here of the 3 pins, let me restate that. Of the 3 pins up here, if we had a problem up in this area, we would be losing that pip signal. We're not. All right, next one. This will be the spout. That's our spout. Never lost the spout signal either. Next one is, I believe, the start circuit. That's only going to be hot when we're cranking. So seeing 0 volts on that is normal. I guess I should watch it while we have a gap. Okay, it's good. And this is the battery feed to the ignition control module. You know, of course, we're on the external part. So if we have a problem on that wire, we're not going to see it. The other 2, I'll restate that in a minute. So, I mean, it still could be that one. The ripple in that's from the alternator. Watch, I'll unplug the alternator again, and that ripple will go away somewhat. Those voltage drops on the supply would be normal voltage drop from the coil energizing. This is coil control. This is going to be a real high voltage spike. Those are going to mirror each other. And with coil control, you know, when we drop it, we're at 12 volts, which is would match the current pattern no matter what. We'll go after this ground now. And I just can't read the inside of it. That's the problem. So all of these really look good. I didn't mess with that ground, did I? That is the one giving me. So this is ignoring the waveform right now. I'm using this probe and I just stalled the engine by wiggling it. I didn't touch the ground wire yet. Let me try that one. It's just weird that none of these look bad. None of them are really spread apart. That ground would be carrying some real current flow too. The power feed, the ground, ouch, and the coil control wire would all be high amperage circuits. Is that broken inside of there? If it's broken in this area, sometimes you can have the insulation look good and be broken inside. If that was the case, you can pull these apart, and I can't do that. I don't remember which ones I cleaned. Just did it when I touched it. Am I missing something here? Things.
What do you want, just jam a whole bunch of T-pins in there and cut them off?
Don't you got any got special stuff in a can that we can spray to make better contact?
I have some windshield. So I had some Dr. Contact Fix.
Dr. Contact Fix. We need some.
We could get some of that you put on windows for heater grids. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Paint that silver.
I was doing it really bad. I wasn't doing it when I was touching it.
Sure, it's not.
I'm not sure.
The module connection?
No, if it was the module connection, I'd be losing the PIP signal and spout, and I'm not. Because those three signals, that is the PIP.
What's the third signal? Well, no, the three, like the connection on the module.
12 volt feed, ground, and signal, like every other Hall effect.
And you're not losing any of that?
Well, if I was, I'd lose my PIP signal. That's where it comes from. So it can't be that connection.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I don't want to say can't with anything right now.
You were saying you couldn't get it to run without it grounded to the distributor.
Yeah, I don't know. That's irrelevant. I don't see that being a factor here.
So when you touch it, it acts up?
Well, or it doesn't. Like right now, I'm freaking tugging on it and it's not doing a thing. And then when I move away from it, it'll start doing it. That's the ground. That's me moving the ground.
But it's making it do it.
Yeah. That's the ground pin. I just think it's like, I think that was the coil control wire, one up. And I already tried to clean that one. So like, yeah, I mean, we need a connector. Or I just like spray some in there and.
I don't know anything about spray on. Like there's
no Dr. Shutter fix for
I got no
connector.
I got no Dr. Connector fix.
We need Dr. Connector fix. I don't want to wire in a connector. I should have been able to clean these. Just gotta clean them all. I heard it. Which one it was, I don't know. So far, I'm not gonna say no, it's not. Just made it do it. Some of you might be thinking, well, what about the harness that runs to the back? I looked at that real close and I didn't see anything. It runs through and comes over right here. Normally when you have a harness rub, like you move a harness out of its way, then it's gonna stop doing it. Our problem's like right at the connector still. I mean, it's better than what it's been, but yeah, there it is right there. That's me wiggling the pip wire, made it drop out. That's me wiggling the spout wire, making it drop out.
You sure it's not an internal module problem?
I'm not sure of anything, Danner. I mean, at this point, it absolutely could be. It's like all the pins that I wiggle, I can make it do it at different times. You know, it could be a part still, and now I'm chasing my tail again, not believing I could possibly have 3 bad modules. Is that possible? I'm gonna wiggle just the module. Gotta believe it's that connector. Have to. Let's get a voltage reading on the ground itself. The housing itself. Just want to see what it looks like. Fixed low voltage, which is what you'd want to have. That's the green trace. So odd the way that this acts. Now I can't make it do it. Coil control wire or the ground. I have an idea. I have an idea. Oh, it's not gonna work. No chance. Can't do what I wanted to do. Right, add a jumper connector in here. Just change the connector and be done with it. I guess. I don't want an I guess. I should be able to tighten that up and get rid of the issue, and I just, for whatever reason, I can't. I mean, our problem is right there. It's just pinpointing the exact spot. It's just eluding me. I was gonna try to run some jumpers in here, and I just don't have enough of them or the right ones to make that happen. I made it worse. How can I not find this? Why is this eluding me? I mean, it could be this, it could be the module. It legit could be. This tap test isn't going to be fruitful either, because it can be connector. It's the modular connector. So the three that I'd be mainly worried about is the power, the control, and the ground. Those three for what we have. Because I'm not losing pip, I'm not losing spout. That one's cranking only, so it's those three. And I'm just not seeing anything with them. Not seeing a problem. I cleaned them too, tightened them, cleaned them. I mean, did I miss a broken wire like in the insulation? You know, those will act real funny. And it could be that, so I'm going to tug on these a little bit harder in hopes that I can reveal that. You know, if this ends up being another bad module that's causing this, I'm really going to be angry. Because when you deal with connectors and stuff, like, I've done what needs to be done to fix whatever connection problem that we had. So I'm leaning more again that this is not, it's not a connector problem, it's the freaking module. Just don't see a problem, man. Let's see. This is pretty, looks like maybe pretty heavily corroded, pitted, like right in the corner in here. I spread it apart so I could see the top. And then while we're in there, like, I think I can go inside and tighten it this way and then squeeze it back together. And that could be helpful. Definitely like corrosion on the tips of all of these that I'm seeing. I mean, as best I can see with my eye, the very tip of that on the inside looks to be, you know, corrosion, but hard to judge. Hard to tell. So if this doesn't work this time, I'm done. We'll just get a connector and go from there. And then if we wire in a new connector and our problem's still here, then we're going to be putting another module in it. It's just kind of crazy.
You're walking with some air lats, man, like you might have found something.
Nope.
No.
Worse. Alternator unplugged, made no difference. Spout unplugged, made no difference. So our dropouts are still there. And like the last one, like things I did, yeah, that's me right there at the connections. All right. So where are we? Connection or module? Don't know. Getting a connector. Those look corroded. This problem wasn't there before though. Danner.
What?
Any chance you can get me a module from somewhere else?
I don't think today.
I can't prove it. There's no way. I just don't feel like that us wiring in a connector is gonna fix it.
No?
No, I mean, I pulled those apart how many times and cleaned them and tightened them, and when you do that, if it's truly a bad connection right there, you're gonna change it, and I'm not changing it. Like, the dynamics of it aren't changing at all. I don't see a reason to put that distributor in the pickup, you know? I mean, should I?
I mean, at this point, what the f, you know what I mean? Just do it. Just in case there's something screwed. But if you, I saw the, yeah, I don't know, dude. I can't.
I know, I don't know either. I'm done with this Mustang. I'm ready to light it on fire.
I'd put the other module back on.
Yeah, so we'll swap this one with that one maybe.
Might as well. Can't believe how stubborn that is, man.
Yeah, it went from bad to worst, in my opinion, as far as like teaching anybody anything.
Yeah, but Caleb could edit it and make it look like supreme.
Yeah. I'm just marking where the module's pointing. Okay. And then up top, next to that, is where the rotor's pointing. And so then we'll mark this one. Rotor's going to be pointing in this same location, roughly right there. I'm just completely done. I'm a parts changer now. Where's my problem at? I don't know. Come on. Why is this not coming out? Should just pop right out. Are you kidding me? It never does that. And 2 days of wasted time. Never had this happen, ever, never. It's like the gear, it's stuck on the camshaft, the gear of the distributor. I know you're filming me, Caleb. I really don't want the camera on me right now. Caleb can't hear me. He will in the edits. I'm just done. I can't get the distributor out. I literally cannot get the distributor out. Shut that off. Are you back on? I can't get the distributor out. And one of the things that Danner was talking about earlier was gear to cam and damage occurring to the cam if the wrong gear is used. And we didn't have that information because you're supposed to check to see if this is metallic or like a composite, and it's magnetized, so that's a metallic one. And we don't have the factory distributor, so we don't know, but there were warnings about the gear. And I can't get that distributor out, which is not a good sign.
So what, we just don't touch it and get another module, or what?
I don't know, I can't get it out. It's like I get part of the way, I use a screwdriver too, and I can get it up like that much, and then I just can't go any further. And
Which way was the rotor pointing?
I had I have it marked. It was right there. I just can't win with this car. It's like everything I do is wrong and dumb. This is where you need another hand as a tech. You get to the point where you're ready to throw shit. Yeah, get somebody else come in and put their hands on it. The master himself. Watch the master here.
No, yeah. There's no mastery here.
Master ba. It shouldn't be like that. Why? It was just put in like a couple weeks ago. This is the I can't fix a sandwich face. Where's the match? You got some gasoline in the match. We'll fix this car right now. How many mechanics does it take to remove a distributor from an 85 Mustang?
Like this. Well,
What do you mean you want paid for your time? Can't you just look at it? Can't you just look at it? It pays like 2.2 to change a distributor. You're charging me how much money?
I don't want to do it. I don't want the liability of it.
I'm with you.
I didn't do this.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I can't. There's no way.
All right, well, we'll go with the new module and connector and cross our freaking fingers and let it go. Yeah?
I don't want this liability.
This job right here is called a waste of time and garage like profitability. This is it right here. This is it. Now we got 4 technicians standing around this piece of shit Mustang. All right, we're done for today. I don't know what we're doing with this. We'll pick it back up shortly.
Sorry, I'm still
No,
sleeping, man.
No, it's good. This is a good time to catch you. It's early in the morning because Danner, runs around, like a chicken with its head cut off, if that's the right phrase.
I mean, I have a little bit more direction than that, but but no.
So he fixed the Mustang.
I mean, it was running for 20 minutes and never skipped a beat.
Last night when he called me, I was like, I was a mixture of excitement and anger.
Yeah.
Like probably the most blended emotion I've had.
Yeah, because
in
you
a
wasted
really
a lot
long
of
time.
You wasted a lot of time trying to prove what the heck a bad part, and you were, we were venting about, some aftermarket parts right about now that are, a lot of them aren't available, and then when they are, they're junk.
Junk is right. If this isn't the case study of what our technicians in our field deal with on a day-to-day basis, especially on older cars, where you're ordering, it's a specialty part now.
Yeah.
Nobody makes them.
Yeah.
I didn't
call Ford. I'm thinking about calling just to see if I can get a motorcraft
Well, we'll
module,
talk about
or-
the pins here in a second.
Yeah.
But so let's just be clear what was done. The module fixed it. Okay.
Yes.
It was originally a no start. They towed it to a garage. They installed this distributor, and then
they had no spark, no coil control.
Correct.
They put the distributor and it started.
So that's one module replaced that was junk. Then the second one,
Yeah, I mean, I
you
wish they would have
replaced.
saved the original
Right.
one. It probably
This
was
pro-
just the pickup. They
Yeah.
could have switched the module,
Could have
put the
been.
motorcraft one back in.
But let's just count the number of modules real quick.
There's 3.
So
4 now.
So the replacement distributor junk module.
Yeah.
You put a module in it. It was junk.
Yeah.
Same thing.
We bought another distributor.
We bought another
Well, I got a distributor under warranty.
distributor under warranty that had
The
a
same module, but we couldn't get the distributor out, so we swapped it from the new
and
distributor.
it worked for like
Well, you had it separate.
when I remotely had it mounted. It
Yeah.
worked for like the
Yeah.
small period of time we were running it. We didn't want to run it long because
Yeah.
of no heat sink.
Yeah.
And then that's 3, right?
Yep.
And then you put a 4th one in from Napa. The one from Napa fixed it.
Yeah.
And real quick, a
But
couple.
I put the pigtail harness in first because we were thinking, okay, is it the terminal? Is it the pins that you're wiggling inside the module,
Dude.
or is it that? And you had it apart, and you're like, I don't see what's wrong with it, but it was like $25. I'm like, I'll just do it.
Here's what I know for sure, though. When I had it remotely mounted and I was monitoring the crank signal directly, pickup or
Yeah.
pip signal directly, I did catch when coils dropped out. I never lost the pip, so it was never a contact problem
yeah.
with the 3.
Yeah.
As we're wiggling the wires in the front, it looked like a wiring problem, and this is a classic example of when you have what looks like a connector problem not being a connector problem. It's the female terminals of the connector, and you're stressing the male pins inside the component, which is where the problem was. Didn't you also say the cover fell off the back of the one module when you had it sitting?
Well, after I took it apart for the 10th time, yeah, that one.
So just the plate fell off the back of it.
It's right here.
I've never seen anything like. Wait, let's let that focus.
And
I've never seen anything like that.
And you're talking, that module might have been off the car 3 times, you know what I mean?
The
'Cause we
plate
swapped
fell
them
off the
around.
back.
And I didn't even drop it. I just unbolted it and set it on the swerve support, and it fell apart.
Apologies, we lost the camera feed, and my brother was just about to describe the new module having, the one that works from Napa, having thinner pins. These pins
at the top were physically thinner than this module, and he was mentioning, I believe, the scratch marks that you could see on that one.
Yeah.
And so what did we do to...
Well, what I did first is I put the pigtail harness in first. And
pigtail first,
and then I
didn't fix it.
Well, I was going to put that one in, the Napa one. It kept falling out.
So the Napa one was falling out.
Yeah. So I was like, well, I can't use this one. It's like 9:30 at night. I'm like, I'll just put the CarQuest one back in, put the distributor back in, started it up. And within like 5 seconds, it started putting the tacks jumping. And
Right.
Like, you have to be kidding. And it's like 9:30. I'm like, or it was like 9 o'clock at that time. And I'm like, you know, so I figured, at this point, these modules are all junk. I'm going to get my money back for any of the stuff I spent through the Napa CarQuest stuff. So I'm only out the Napa one.
This other garage got screwed on the job,
yeah,
too.
That's nobody's fault. I mean, I don't know why I can't get the distributor out. I will just I don't know if
So we want to talk about that part. The gear and the distributor.
Well, I did. I researched it.
Okay, good.
So 85 and a half and down.
This is an 85.
It's an 86.
Oh, are you sure?
Yes.
I thought it was an 85.
No, it's an 86 because the plate crossed in 86 and this is fuel injected.
Okay.
So 85 and a half and down to like 79. I can't remember.
They were carbureted, or
they were probably carbureted. They didn't have roller cams.
Okay.
So you got to change the gear for the older model.
Okay, good.
So 86 and up, we're all full roller.
Okay.
And this is an 86. Unless someone put an engine in here out of an 85, which I don't know, the steel gear should be good.
Why couldn't we get the distributor out of the gear?
My guess is it's a burr. So my guess is there's a burr on the because it's got the O-ring and the double machine surface. And my guess is there's a burr somewhere and they couldn't get it in and they just tapped it in, and we could probably get it out, probably crack the distributor. I have another one, but I don't want that. I don't want that liability. I'm done with it. The research, I'm going to tell the guy everything. I'm going to tell him everything.
100%.
But I'm going to say I don't want that liability because I don't know what it's catching.
Absolutely.
And I don't want to take the timing covers off. I don't want to, you know what I mean?
Yep.
So I just,
This was an all-around loser job. This would be one where you made no money whatsoever. It made for a good case study for us.
Yeah. So he'll continue to get paid.
Yes.
And I didn't get
no. He got screwed is what he got. Hey Danner for like 2 days.
Yeah.
Me bothering him. But so all right, my last piece is I'm just gonna show you guys coil control.
Watch it not work.
You know what? If it doesn't, you run it for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
I don't even care. Like this is a bad ignition module. We mentioned them being made on Friday and made fun of the parts guys for Friday manufacturing and Monday manufacturing. We got a whole box of Friday manufactured parts.
Oh, and I don't know what you missed, but the one that kept falling out, it was 9 o'clock at night. I ended up just getting a pair of diagonals and bending the corners and trying to make a little V out of each one.
I like that.
So I put it up in there and it stayed. I had pin drag. I don't know how long it'll last.
Do you know what company it was? It was the Eklund brand from Napa, was it?
It was their Pro Form. The only one I could get quickly was their cheaper module.
Well, let's throw this company under the bus. Absolutely. Do not, let me wait till it focuses. Do not ever buy. As you can see, the new connector that my brother wired in that did not fix it. It was the new module. And then to reiterate what we were talking about, oftentimes, more often than not, when you wiggle the connection here and you think you have a bad connector, you're actually stressing the male pins inside of the component. And that was the case here. And I see that time and time again. Probably more times than not, it is not the connector. Crazy stuff. And I spent so much time cleaning it and tightening the pins, and none of that made a difference. And that in itself should have told me it's the module. But who would think you have 4 bad new parts? Or 3 at the time. You just don't believe it. You start moving away from it. Like, what did you miss? And we were just running in circles because of bad parts. So I'm just going to show you guys coil control over here, and then we'll pull this module apart, see if we see anything, and we'll call this a wrap. That's what we want to see.
whatsoever. That is a fix, and it's ridiculous what we went through on this Mustang. Ridiculous. Caleb, work your magic in the edits. Show the struggles. Let's put a emphasis on crap parts that we are getting in our industry that's affecting all of us and our bottom lines. Let's take this module apart, see what we see, if anything. I'll try to take a better picture with my phone. You guys tell me what you see in this, if anything. We are done with this piece of crap module case study. It's not a piece of crap car, a piece of crap parts. Curious to hear your thoughts on what you guys see in this image. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this case study. I know I did not. This thing caused me to lose some sleep, and I don't think I've ever been more frustrated, at least in recent memory, on a car than this one right here. But I know you guys appreciate the time we put in, and we thank you for watching, and be sure to hit the like and subscribe button at the end of this video. And again, we appreciate you guys being here, and we want to wish you a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Why is Danner's Boxer here? Why is Danner's Boxer here? Big little boxer girl. Little boxer girl. Little boxer. What are you doing here? Are you going to be shop dog? Little shop dog. Huh.
She's not sure about it yet. She didn't sit still all day. And then I'm on the way home at 9:30 last night jamming music, and she was out.
That's like mine.
She didn't sleep at all. She's used to sitting on a couch next to a fireplace.
So she's been here for a couple days?
Today's day 2.
Oh, you like little shop dog. Dude, she's like trying to crawl on my lap.
I know. She likes to hug and chew on ears.
Of course she does. She's a boxer. She wants me to pick her up, I swear.
Yeah, if she could get inside of you somehow, she'd be happy. Although on the way this morning, I looked in the back seat of my truck, and there was greasy paw prints all over the back seat. So
on your new truck.
I'm gonna have to wipe her down and
get a back seat thing.
You're gonna have to get seat covers. Think you got any ScannerDanner seat covers?
Nope. I could probably make some.